Okay, so apparently, oh man, this is the kind of shit that I hate to cover. So there was a video a few days ago. Kali Muscle, did a video of himself doing a chest workout at the gym, and in it he kind of talked shit about powerlifters, and he, did like a 495-pound bench press, and he was like, oh, well, like I can bench press more than most of you, so I must be a powerlifter now. And then, of course, Paul Carter, who runs liftrunbang.com, and I have great respect for both of these people. I don't know how I keep making these videos, kind of making mild criticisms of people, and then, like people just latch onto that somehow and say that I'm a hater. But basically, I got mad respect for Paul Carter. I disagree with him on a lot of stuff. And I respect Colin Muscle. He's good at what he does. I wouldn't be him. But the point is, Paul Carter took issue with that. And Paul Carter said that you don't just, you can't just call yourself a power lifter and be a power lifter. And he says you can't just be strong and be a power lifter. And his argument is essentially that being a power lifter is about competing. It's about, being a part of the community. It's about being active within that. And only then can you really call yourself a power lifter. And I think that the real issue here is, well, there's a lot of things. First of all, like a 500-pound bench press, as I understand, Kali is, somewhere around like 260 or so. And if you look up the world records for, power lifters, let me see. He'd fit into the 275 weight class, which would mean that a world record in that class is 650 pounds. That's a full 155 pounds more than what he's doing there. So, is that bench press good? Yeah, that's great. It's just also, nowhere near, the kind of stuff that would really turn heads in the powerlifting community. And then on top of that, it was done with an arguably sloppy form. He definitely bounced it off of his chest, and, he might have, I couldn't really tell what, the hips were looking like in terms of, whether his ass was on the bench or not. But it's the kind of thing that would probably not be okayed in a powerlifting meet anyway. So, take off, maybe 20 or 30 pounds for making sure he can nail good form, and you're looking at, let's say a 465 bench press, and, again, great bench press. Mine is, my 325 doesn't measure up to that, but still, not necessarily anything that would really turn heads in the powerlifting community. People would say, like, oh, you're doing good, but you've got, lots of room for improvement. Now, the main thing, though, is, when it comes to stuff like that, there's a difference between calling yourself something and being recognized as something. Saying, for example, that I'm the King of England does not make me the King of England. I have to also be recognized by the entire country of England as the King of England for that to work out. So, likewise, I can't just call myself a bodybuilder or a powerlifter or a strongman or, a weightlifter or whatever the hell I want to without, seeing some kind of recognition from everyone else. Do I think that Kali has the right to call himself a powerlifter? Yeah, sure. Do I think that he has the right to do that as a way of insulting actual powerlifters? Probably not. And I think that it also opens him up to criticism. It says, okay, well, if you're going to claim that you're a powerlifter, other people now have the right to debate that because, you've made that claim and now you have to sort of defend it. The burden of proof lies on you to prove that you're a powerlifter, to show that you're a powerlifter. So, do I agree with Paul Carter that, that he's not a powerlifter? Well, I don't really agree with that either, because one of the reasons that I got into powerlifting, one of the reasons I started competing, I've been to 2 competitions now, is that powerlifting for me is about it's not about the drama. For bodybuilding, for example, bodybuilding is a judged competition, and that's why I shied away from it eventually, because I realized that I don't want to, put my best out there, do the best I can, and then go up on stage and discover that, I didn't win because, the judge decided that this other guy who has a very similar physique to me, is better. And that's basically, like, yeah, like, obviously, I'm not saying that all bodybuilders look the same and it's all just a matter of preference. You know, obviously, for example, like a Mr. Olympia competitor is going to look a lot better than some random guy on the street who, you know, has done, like, some amateur competitions. You know, there's definitely, you know, there's definite cases of, like, who should win and who shouldn't in some situations. But then there's also lots of gray area. You know, like, we've got shit like Phil Heath and Kai Green fighting it out for Mr. Olympia for the last few years, and I would say that, you know, like, both of them deserve a trophy. They both look fucking great. You know, and deciding who wins in that situation is kind of stupid because it's like, wow, you both put in great effort, you both look amazing. You know, there might be some minor differences in your physiques, but, you know, they've got to give a trophy to someone. And so ultimately, bodybuilding is, you know, it's a very drama-heavy sort of sport in the end. You know, it's a lot of politics. It's about, you know, it's about personalities. It's about sort of playing the game just as much as it is what you bring to the table. And so the reason that I got into powerlifting was I said that's a good thing because there's no bullshit. You know, you don't have to worry about politics. There's no arguments, nothing. It's basically just, you know, did you lift the weight or not? You know, what's the poundage? You know, that's the thing that sets you apart. So, you know, yeah, like, I later realized that that was kind of stupid. Obviously, we've got debates over stuff like squat form for the, you know, for the geared guys whose squats always look a little bit high. You know, there are personalities within powerlifting, and they do duke it out occasionally. You know, we've got, there's definitely drama. I mean, where there's people, there's always going to be drama. But I always thought that powerlifting was sort of the anti-drama sport. You know, it was a lot more serious, a lot more straightforward, and a lot less of the added BS and drama. So ultimately, what it boils down to, you know, from that point of view, from my point of view, is, well, can he lift the weight or not? And we've already established that he can lift the weight. He's got a great bench press. Now the question is, would he be willing to put his, you know, put his money where his mouth is and actually go to a competition and actually put up those numbers in a competition, actually show that he can actually beat people? Because chances are that he would go to a competition and, you know, he might not beat people. Other people might beat him. Or, you know, if he doesn't go to a competition, he never really cements, you know, his status as a power lifter. And, you know, like, I think that, you know, definitely we should have more hybrid athletes. I think that, you know, back in the day, like, guys like Arnold and Franco Colombo were guys who were both bodybuilders and powerlifters, or both bodybuilders and weightlifters. You know, they were guys who, you know, could multitask, could do, you know, multiple sports, and I think that's great. Again, but at the same time, I don't think that's what Kall's trying to do. I don't think that Kall is trying to actually make any kind of commitment to himself to get stronger and to use that strength in competition, you know, to actually win. So ultimately, I mean, obviously, I think it's up to everybody. I think it's up to the fans. I think it's up to the viewers. I think it's up to, you know, YouTube viewers and all that. I think it's up to the community to really decide whether Kall Muscle gets to call himself a powerlifter or not. But I would say that while I disagree with Paul on why he's not a power lifter, I would say that I disagree with him just a little bit in methodology. So anyway, that's all I have for today. As always, like, rate, comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And let's see how much hate mail I get for this one.